All right, shalom, 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 shalom. First and foremost, giving all praise and glories to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Harakah Kadash, and double honors to Elder Apostles, Elder Bishop, Great Mills, where we learn this truth from. And peace and salutation, hopeful elect, whoever it may be in the four winds of the earth. And a brother Kwam Gabar coming back with another lesson to edify the body. Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, the house of David. And Lord's willing's edifying video through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Harakah. Just real quick in the spirit as you see on my screen. I'm out here in California from GMS Ancient Days Los Angeles camp. But I just wanted to bring this out because the brother for this, I don't know the brother's name, but the water for this update, GMS dedication. This was put up 4 hours ago. So it says, LA, breaking news, LA mayor calls for 1,600 plus layoffs. Where Mayor, let's read it, the caption, right? It says, Mayor Karen Bass proposes laying off 1,640 city employees, and closing some of city departments as city faces nearly 1 billion shortfalls. Right? What is that going to lead to? We already know everything's leading, all roads lead to what? The MOTB. Right? All roads lead to MOTB. Right? So it says LA Mayor Karen Bass budget calls for over 600 city workers to be laid off. And this was put up today. 2 days ago. Salakia, 2 days ago. Updated on April 22, 2025, the whole year of deliverance and destruction, you know. But the Wadi Habashim Shai, you know, let's go to a couple of scriptures and I'm going to close out. Just real quick, all praises to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Bashim Shai, Bahashem, Harakah Kadash. This is Ecclesiastes 12. And verse 1, it says, remember now the Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh. Right? The evil days, man, that means it's gonna come regardless if you think it or not. Evil means bad times. Are we not living in bad times? Look at your surroundings, look at your own livelihood. You know, most of us, all of us, right? If you're not a 1%er, if you're not a so-called billionaire, you're gonna suffer. You're suffering. You can't pay rent. You can't buy food, clothes, water. You can't pay your bills. Right? Now they want to cut 60 and you know, all roll. And you thought, hey, man, something just came to mind just real quick. Amos 5 and verse 18. It says, woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. For what end is it for you? For the day of the Lord is darkness and not light. That's you losing your job. That's dark. Right? You living in a dark time, evil time. Right? This is going back to Ecclesiastes 1. Right? It says, remember now, this talking to the children of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latino, Native Americans, right? It says, remember now the Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. Right? The Lord he's turning his back on his people, which means that the family of the word is right here. When you see the feminine word, when you don't see the prophets on the streets, right, on the street corners, every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 7 days a week, and in these epistles that you accustomed to hearing every day about what's going on in the world, then you know that the grace period is up. But the men of the Lord are going to have grace period and Lord willing to the end. You know, it says, while the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble. Who are the keepers of the house? It's talking about the 1%ers, the elites. They know that they're where this is headed, but they're not going to tell you the truth. They're going to tell you everything. Oh, they're telling you smooth things, to tell you everything's going to be all right, but not knowing that this man has got war in his heart. Let's go to Psalms 55 and verse 21. And it reads, it says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart, in his mind. His words were softer than oil, yet they were drawn swords. You can't trust this man. You can't trust whatever this man says. And you look at his track record. His track record is he tell you smooth things, but war is in his heart. He's got another alternative motive. And we know the alternative motive, that he was created to be the devil, the deceiver, the liar, false accuser. And the men of the Lord are telling you, this is the man that took peace from the earth. He's taking peace from the earth, the red horse, right? So let's go back to Ecclesiastes 12. And verse 3 again, it says, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders work the workers cease, because there are few, and those that look out the windows be darkened. Dark days are ahead for you, wicked Israelites and the heathen. We're mainly talking to our people to get right. You see how beautiful and merciful the Lord really is, and guess what? He still has time. You still have time, right? Let's go to Sirach 5 and 7. It reads, it says, make no turn to the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai, and put not off from day to day. Right? Make not turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day. For suddenly shall the wrath of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance. Don't you see? Every day the Lord is getting ready. The Lord is doing something every minute of these days. Right? But the Lord shortened the days for the elect's sake. Right? Because if he didn't show up, no flesh would be saved. Pursuant to Matthew 24. Right? So let's go to Matthew 24 and verse 3. It says, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us when these things shall be, And what shall be the sign of that coming in the end of the world? This is the sign of these are the signs of Yahweh Bashim Shai's return and the end of Esau's world. Esau, the end of the world, and Jacob's the beginning that followed. It's all a transition. Everything's it's a transition. We're in the transition period. The transition is to destroy this kingdom and to uplift the kingdom of Yahweh Bashim Shai and for the Israelites. That's the kingdom of heaven for our people, for us, right? It says, and Yahweh Shai answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. They're trying to, you're using, and it's so beautiful because Esau's using Eve, the so-called black woman, right? Just like in a garden, you shall not. Genesis 3, right? You surely, let's get it. You won't surely die. You won't surely die. Because he knew we weren't going to die physically, but we're dying. Look, at our people are dead spiritually. This is the valley of shadow of death. Right? Verse 1, it says, and now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, and the Lord Yahweh power had made. And he said unto the woman, yea, hath God said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden, because the trees were the nations, right? What garden? I mean, the tree. What? The good and evil. Everything was good. Everything was plush and beautiful in the Garden of Eden. That was the kingdom of heaven. But this had to happen. This had to happen because of the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai gave us the kingdom of heaven, and we ended up like this. And we ended up like, and look at our people. And we're in the kingdom of heaven, man. Oof. Damn, that's a heavy, that is very, that just gave me a stomach ache thinking about it. How wicked and horrible a lot of people are in this time. And the Lord gave us, if he didn't do it, and he just allowed us to be in the kingdom of heaven with this mind state, there wouldn't be no kingdom of heaven. He would have to wipe it out, just like he did the flood. He had to wipe everyone out because of what? The sins of a man was so wicked. You see? And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Yahweh said, ye should not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. What is that? What the devil was talking about. We're all equal. A woman can talk to a man any way she wants. A woman can walk around gadding abroad, showing her goodies. Right? A boy, a young man, a young girl. Right? Being with men and men, women with women, being tortured, being this, being that, being pegged, being this, it's all wicked. Now you see what the Lord said not to do. Now we're looking at it, right? Now we're living it. But this is the end of it. We're at the end of this fucking leg, bro. We're at the end of this life. And Yahweh Bashim Shai gave this man Esau Edom, right? The dew of heaven, right? And he should take it by the sword. Genesis 27, right? Because this nigga wept. This nigga was crying. You have but one blessing, my father. He was talking to Isaac. And who was Isaac? Yahweh Shai. You see? You see? Now we're living in this life. Now we're seeing it. Now we know that it was all bad. Now we understand why we're in this predicament, because we the ones that messed up. Now the men of the Lord are going to bear. Micah 7:9 said, I will bear the indignation of the Lord because I sinned against him. So we're going to wait on the Lord until he pleads our cause. But, you see? In verse 4, and Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ. The anointed shall deceive many. You people have been deceived to think that you are equal to a man. We're not even that you're equal, that everyone's equal, that we're all equal. How are we all equal? And there's 1% of the 1% of a race got the whole earth in their hands. How is that possible? How is that equal? It's not. It was all set up by Yahweh Shemel Shai. This is the Lord's program from the jump. We're just here to tell you the truth. You hate me because I tell you the truth? You've been hearing smooth things all your life. Now judgment is in your face. And you don't want to be judged because you think the Lord is not real. A fool has said in his heart that there is no power. Now, hey, come on. In verse 6, it says, ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nations shall rise against nations, and kingdom against kingdoms, and there shall be famine, and pestilence, and earthquakes in diverse places. And all these are we're in the beginning of sorrows. It's not going to go back to what it was yesterday, 2 days ago, a week ago, a month ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 100 years ago. No, it's going to go right. This place is doomed for what? Destruction, judgment. Right? So let's go to 2nd Ezra 15. Let's go to 9 real quick. Is it 15? Here it is. Yeah, this is 2nd Ezra 15. And verse 9, Salakia. I think it's 9. Here it is, here, 9. This is 2nd Ezra 9:1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligent in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told you thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people, this is an uproar. This right here is you see what the Lord is doing? He's mustering up the battle. Because nations against nations, kingdom against kingdom, is talking about civil unrest. All up and down the board. However you want to twist it, it's going to happen. It's happening. You can't you weren't created to stop it. It was already written for this to happen. And it's happening. Right? You see how beautiful Yahweh Shemel Shai is? So it says, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, because that's going to be it's going to feel like an earthquake. Even though there's earthquakes, I'm in the earthquake state. And there are earthquakes all over the world where the Lord really wants is to wake up the people. It's when you get woken out of bed, a big shake, you're like, fuck, what is that? That's Yahweh Bashim Shai shaking the earth with his hand, with his feet. He said, heaven is my throne, but earth is my footstool. So everything that's happening in the earth is happening in the earth. Happening in heaven is going to happen in the earth. 1 + 1 is 2. How beautiful is that? It's the truth. It's beautiful. Yapah, right? In the Hebrew. Right? Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shall thou well understand that the Most High Yahweh Bashim spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world have the beginning and the end is manifest. You see, the end is manifesting right before your eyes. Right? You cannot ignore reality any fucking more. Like the elder Zion out here in California, he said you can ignore reality. That's a beautiful quote. It rhymes too. It's a beautiful lyric. You can ignore reality. These people can ignore reality, but you cannot ignore the consequences of knowing reality. If you know reality, this is reality, you ignoring it, guess what? It's your fucking fault. You can't blame nobody else but you. And guess what? You're going to take everything you've done in your life, you're going to have an account. You're going to have to give an account in the day of judgment, pursuant to Matthew 12 and 36. Let's get that. Just rolling in the spirit, man. And it's a beautiful thing that the Lord is doing this thing for the elect's sake, man. And Lord willing, we're of his number, man. Oh, man. Oh, beautiful, 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 beautiful. Verse 35. This is Matthew 12 and 35. It says, a good man out of a good treasure of the heart, which is the mind, bringeth forth good things. And an evil man out of the evil treasure bringeth forth evil things. Right? But I say unto you that every idle word that man shall speak, man or woman, they shall give an account thereof in the day of judgment. For by thy words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words thou shalt be condemned. That is the perfect balance, because Proverbs 11:1 it says, a false balance is an abomination to the Lord. It's all beautiful. Everything is coming to an end. Everything has an end, but the one thing that never has an end is the kingdom of heaven. A world without an end. That's the kingdom of heaven. So let's go back to 2nd Ezra 9 and 5 again. I'm gonna jump to 2nd Ezra 15, and then I'm gonna close out. It says, For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and the end is manifest. Brakateh Yahweh, Brakateh Yahweh Shai, all blessings and glories to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Bashim El Shai, Bahashem Harakakadash, the water, Yahweh Bashim El Shai, man, for real. The water Yahweh Bashim El Shai for the elder apostles, Elder Bishop Great Milson, who taught us this truth. And, we are fully persuaded in our own mind. The Lord gave us his heart, his mind, his spirit to follow him, to worship him in spirit and in truth, Lord willing. It's us, the elect, right? Let me jump down to verse 14. It says, woe to the world and them that the world are in. For the sword and the destruction draw nigh. The modern day sword is the gun, or any killing instrument, but mainly the gun. And it says, for the sword and destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, evading one another, and they shall not regard their kings nor princes. In the course of their actions shall stand in their power because of this. Because this right here. This right here. This is the beginning of it. This is one of the avenues. The major avenue. Egyptian against Egyptian, Isaiah 19. Right? So this is great news. Barakatayah Shai, man. You know? And it reads, for there shall be sedition among men. Let's look up that word sedition. Bring it home so we understand, so the audience knows what sedition means. It means a conduct or speech inciting people to rebel against the authority or state or monarch because they're taking away their livelihood. That's taking away your livelihood. Literally. And she's just a puppet. And LA County is a big county, man. It goes all the way down from Ventura County all the way down to Orange County. That's a big county. You know, the Valley is part of LA County. You know, Ojai is part of LA County. You know, it's a beautiful thing, man. You see? So sedition is a conduct or speech inciting people to rebel against authority or state or monarch. It's beautiful, man. You see? You see how beautiful the Lord Yahweh Shai Shai really is? And he's control of everything. He's the one who's orchestrating everything that happened the way he wants it to happen. And we're just giving it to you straight. Right? And it says, a man should desire to go into a city and not be able. That's why they setting up these military what do they call it? Military oh man, I can't even think, because I had to run to the bathroom. I gotta use the bathroom. But Lord, I'm gonna finish this lesson. I'm almost done. A little bit more. It says man shall desire to go into a city. That's why they call them 50-minute cities. That's why, they burnt down Hawaii. They burnt down LA. All these high value homes, towns. They turn them into 50-minute cities. You're not going to be able to go, if you're not going to be able to go to any store. If you never shopped at that store, you're not going to be able to go to that store. You're going to go to, all these little markets, things like that. If you go, the Lord's got, it's all beautiful. It says, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. People are afraid. It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and great tribulation. This is great. This is the beginning of great tribulation. This is the beginning of all sorrows because they ain't got no jobs. 1,600 jobs in LA County are being wiped out 2 days ago. Tomorrow's a Friday. By Monday, they ain't gonna, they might not have a job tomorrow. They might, we don't know when it's gonna happen, but it's happening. So we're preparing ourselves. Let's go to 2nd Ezra 16. And 35 through 40 says, hear now these words and understand them, ye servants of the Lord. Behold, the word of the Lord, Yahweh Hashem shall receive it. Believe not the gods of whom the Lord spake. Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are this, man, it's beautiful. It's not slack concerning his promise. Well, other men count slackness. The ones that went back into the world, pursuant to 2 Peter 3, right? And it reads, as when a woman with child in the 9th month bring forth her son, within 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains when the child come forth, they slack not a moment. Who's that child? Yahweh Shai. You know, the Heavenly Father. I got to go to the bathroom, but I'm going to still finish this lesson. And it reads, even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon every side. O my people, hear my word and make you ready to the battle. And in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth. You see, the Lord is going to provide for us. The Lord is providing for us. You know, he's always going to provide for us, Lord willing. You know, because let's go to Isaiah. Right? Isaiah 65. And verse 12. Therefore I will number you to the sword, and ye shall bow down to the slaughter. Because when I have called, you did not answer. When I spake, you did not hear, but did evil before my eyes, and right, and those and did choose that wherein I delight not. You see? You see this? Therefore saith the Lord Yahweh Shai power, behold, my servant shall eat, but you shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but you shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. That's the worst, man. The water Yahweh Shemel Shai Bahashim Harakakadash, that you called us into your marvelous light, and Lord willing, we are chosen to receive salvation. You know, because we obeyed, and the scriptures say obedience is better than sacrifice. You see, it says, behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, but you shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. This is a vexation of spirit. If you're, you know, because it's all going to trickle down to what? Having no jobs. This is the first. It goes to the city workers. It's talking about, you know, the police department, the fire department. You know, the club. You know, if you work in the courts or county or whatever the case may be, city. That's it, man. So with that, Lord's willing, was edifying through the spirit and power. Hold on for a second. Let me close out with this verse. This is Psalms 37 and 37 through 40. Verse 28 first, it says, verse 25, it says, I have been young and now I'm old, yet have I not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. The Lord's gonna take care of us. Abba now Yahweh Shemel Shai is gonna take care of us. You know? Verse 37. And it reads, it says, mark the perfect man. And behold the upright, For the end of that man is peace. We have peace knowing that this is happening. And Yahweh Shemel Shai is going, is building our faith. It's all about having faith in Yahweh Shemel Shai. It's not faith in man, it's faith in the God of heaven and earth. And it says, but the transgressor shall be destroyed together. You see? But the transgressors shall be destroyed together. With who? The wicked. The end of the wicked shall be cut off. It's talking about Esau, Edom, and 2/3 of our own people. They're going to be cut off by famine, by sword, by captivity to the captivity. However the Lord got you, hey, that's it. Verse 39. But the salvation of the righteous is of the Lord Yahweh Bashem El Shai. He is their strength in a time of trouble, and the Lord shall help them and deliver them. He shall deliver them from the wicked and save them because they trust in him. Continue to trust in the Lord, O ye saints. Right? Let's go to Psalms 30 and 5. Right? Verse 4, it says, sing unto the Lord Yahweh Bashem El Shai, O ye saints of his, and give thanks at the remembrance of his holiness, for his anger endureth but for a moment. You see? All this is going to pass away because he's angry, his indignation, righteous judgment. Right? It says, his anger endureth but for a moment. In his favor is life. Weeping may endure for a night. Right? The night is far spent. The day is at hand. God's talking about Esau's rulership is coming to an end. Right? But joy cometh in the morning. The joy is Yahweh Shai. He's the morning star. He's that day star. So So with that, Lord's willing, was edifying through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem El Shai, Bahashem, Harakah HaKadash, and double honors to elder apostles, elder bishops, of great millstone, where there's truth from. And peace and salutation to hopefully Shalom, 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 Shalom.